Ours is not the only realm. There are many worlds beyond our own that hold inhabitants of great and terrible nature. Some worlds, like the realm of shadow or the realm of fairies, lay just beyond the veil of our own domain, so close one could step into them without even knowing it. Yet others lie much, much further, far above, in the great winding heavens. The angels fly in great castes, and gods tread about their divine business. But far, far below lay the realms of evil, the homes of beings terrible in form and mind, from the destructive demons of the abyss to the frugal Yugoloths of limbo. The lower planes host all manner of creatures whose hearts are black. But not all evils are created equal. It can take on many forms, many faces. The face that is most often seen, or most often talked to, is that of a devil. Devils are beings that are defined not just by their evil nature, but by their strong desire for order. They are creatures of strict hierarchy, rules, and bureaucracies. Many scholars and wizards believe that the devils represent the evils of tyranny in our world, of an order so absolute that it becomes oppressive and soul-crushing. To understand devils, you must first look at where they live, a lower plane that stands at the precipice of true evil and absolute law. The 9 Hells. Each layer of the 9 Hells is a world unto itself, and we shall explore them one by one. So come, pay your fee, and step onto the boat as we take the river Styx through the 9 Hells. As the deep, black waters travel through the 9 Hells, we come to the first layer, Averness. A wasteland of rocky crags, mountains of sharp rock, twisted vegetation growing under clouds of endless ash and smoke. Great volcanoes dot the landscape, belching lava into rivers of magma. It's a war zone, and this is where the 9 Hells and the Abyss meet. The demons crawl out of the Abyss from Black Ichor, seeking to spread their chaos. The devils, beings of total law, are antithesis to these invaders, and so they wage war on one another. Averness has ever been the front lines of this conflict, known as the Blood War. The ruler of Averness is Zariel, the Fallen One. Once an angel of the heavens, Zariel was tasked by the gods to observe the Blood War. But over the centuries, the taint of the Hells ignited her divine fury and burned within her a terrible wrath and bloodlust. She dove into the fray, killing both demon and devil by the score. But eventually, the Hells got their grasp on her. Now fallen, Zariel rules over Averness, having slain the previous archdevil, and she leads the charge against all invaders. Below the war-torn Averness, we come to the second hell, Dis, a dark, barren land filled with deserts, speckled by lifeless trees that move of their own will, seeming to grasp at all around them. Poisonous rivers and ponds befoul the dry ground, and a dark green sky looms above. Here rules Dispater, an archdevil famed for his ability to turn flesh into iron, and iron into rust with a single touch. He is a paranoid ruler who does not trust Zariel, always seeking a way to kill the former angel and wrest control of Averness from her. But his paranoia prevents him from ever leaving his realm. The third hell, Minaros. It is an endless bog of vile pollution, filled with bloated, decaying corpses that feed fetid plants. It is a horrid swamp, drenched by acid rains. The lord of the third is Mammon, the Viscount. Out of all archdevils, Mammon is possessed of the greatest greed. His love of gold, gems, and all things of value overshadow even his desire for mortal souls, and he has both in abundance. Phlegethos, the fourth hell. It is a land of unbearable heat. The river Styx boils as we pass through it. Gaze upon the landscape scarred by endless fires, rivers of magma, unbearable heat, and mountain ranges of volcanoes that constantly erupt. Unlike any other layer of hell, this one is ruled by two archdevils. The first is Lady Ferna, the great seductress. Her beauty and charisma is said to be matched only by the supreme ruler of the nine hells himself. Filling the hearts of mortals and immortals alike with whatever feeling she wishes to evoke in them, Lady Fiona can always trust on her charms to get her both into and out of any situation. Her other half, Belial, is a stern-faced devil with a strong body, and he cares not for the subtleties or manipulations of his better half, and values only power and cunning. The two both admire and hate one another in equal measure. On to the fifth hell, Stygia. Here is a bottomless dark ocean, covered by an immense sheet of ice on the surface. The river Styx is the only free-flowing water here. Lightning and rolling storm clouds constantly rumble across the skies of Stygia, and when it strikes the ground, strange blue fire erupts. The ruler of the fifth hell is Prince Levistus. A cunning schemer and charmer, Levistus sought to usurp the throne of hell from the Grand Asmodeus, but his plans failed, and as punishment, Asmodeus imprisoned Levistus in ice for all eternity. The sixth layer of hell is Malbolge, full of towering, angular black stone blocks, some small as a brick, others as large as an entire metropolis. Constant blizzards and stinking clouds of vapor bombard Malbolge from above and below. Glacia, the infernal princess, is ruler here. She is the daughter of Asmodeus, but feels no love for her father, only a healthy respect for his power and authority. Malbolge is a prison for mortals and immortals alike, for the devils and humans that dared to try to break the laws of the Pact and the Nine Hells. And Glacia is their keeper. She is both warden and criminal. Mala Domini is the seventh layer of hell. It is the land of ruins. Stagnant, decaying structures of stone, wood, and glass scatter all over the land. Fetid rivers flow into empty mines and quarries. Black pools of ichor erupt from the ground as geysers, and the air is filled with the buzz of huge swarms of biting flies. The ruler of the seventh hell is Beelzebul, the Slug Lord. His form was altered into that of a fetid, melting, slug-like creature encased in filth, a form of punishment from Lord Asmodeus when Beelzebub tried to circumvent and undermine the bureaucracy of the Nine Hells. The eighth level of hell is Cania, a frozen wasteland. Mountains of ice, harsh bitter winds that carry sharp shards of glass-like ice, constantly falling snow and hail, the hail sharp and pointed like knives. Standing out in a storm in this layer of hell is a death sentence by 1,000 cuts, assuming you do not freeze to death first. Here, in an icy blue citadel, rules Mephistopheles. Out of all devils, Mephistopheles is the greatest practitioner of magic. He targets wizards, sorcerers, and alchemists, imprisoning them with his deals to glean their secrets and knowledge. It is said he has invented thousands of spells, but is forbidden, or perhaps simply refuses to use any of them. He sees himself as the greatest rival to Asmodeus, and the rightful ruler of the Nine Hells, but for all his machinations and power, the Black Throne still eludes Mephistopheles. Now we are here, in the final layer of hell, the ninth layer, the deepest roots of this terrible domain. Nessus, a torn, blasted landscape, constantly bombarded by hurricane-force winds. Fire, ice, poison, acid, all the terrors of the previous hells can be found here. It is an endless maze of an ever-changing landscape, and at the center, you will find Asmodeus, the first devil, ruler of the 9 hells, absolute in his realm. No one knows where Asmodeus came from, or what he truly is. The widely accepted story is that he was once an angel, the greatest of all angels, a general who waged war on the demons of the abyss, but as the war drew on, the great angel came to the gods with a plea and a contract. They sign the contract, give him the ability to harvest mortal souls to fuel his war efforts and prevent the demons' advance. Not seeing many options, as the only other option was to promote Asmodeus to godhood, the gods signed the contract, and in doing so gave Asmodeus all the power and permissions he needed to create the 9 hells and rule over them absolutely. But of course, he also could never leave. Strange. Did he make himself a prisoner by mistake? Or was this part of his plan all along? We must leave now, turn back along the river Styx, find our way out of these 9 hells, before a devil ensnares you with their tricks and beguilement and honeyed words. Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave a like and comment below your favorite of the 9 hells, or any questions you have about the 9 hells or devils. I'll try to answer them in my next videos. I'll be going over specifically the Devil Deal and the Lords of the 9 hells, as well as the advancement of Devil Hierarchy. So subscribe if you want to stay tuned for that. Also, don't forget to hit out my socials to keep up to date on all my projects, and just sign here to support me on Patreon. I promise it's only going to cost you a few bucks. And don't forget to have fun on your next adventure.